The brothel of coffee. This is really for coffee houses, but take the premium material and hand it to the cashier in exchange for the true brew. Brewed caffeinated mocha latte coffee. Order that coffee that has the froth along top and savor the top of the frothel. Coffee and caffeine. A cafe full of caffeinated mocha latte from the coffee bean with optional frothel. Oh please, frothel us up another cup and we'll all sup our cup of caffeinated mocha latte frothel. The smell brings to mind the Columbia Hills where one finds and picks the green coffee bean. Climb that mountain in no time, a winding path and jungle vine. The heart survives 9,500 feet with this green bean of caffeine. Coffee roasted to the right color, right texture, right flavor. The flavor we can savor. Oh, coffee is good. Oh, coffee with frothel is good. And when so very and so often very misunderstood. And who says coffee and caffeine are bad when it makes so many so very glad? Who needs the cakes? Who needs the wines when mocha latte is so fun? We smell it from downstairs through the walls and doors, and the morning is not even yet broken. We hoist our feet from the bed to the floors in dazed stupor, trampled to the kitchen. Coffee with frothel is good. And now let this be understood. A good cup of coffee beats the heck out of high tea. Oh, let's have a good cup of coffee. Okay, I was privileged one time to sing at a concert, and it was for the Afro-American Society, and so I was the only one there of my sisterhood. So anyway, so I need participation. Ready? Took the right road down, but the wrong way to it. Sign was backward, couldn't see through it, so I turned around, tried to make that right. But I got more lost and I was losing the line. Yeah. You're going down the right road, just going the wrong way. Sun was setting, I needed to light my way. But I turned around and I made that right. I was on the right road, I saw I was alive. Yeah. But I found it today, oh the right road, oh the right way. The sign said, now, there's no future, no past, only the present, and only the present can last. Well, I won't be whipped and tossed in the darkness, I won't stay. I paid the cost, now I'm going the right way, going the right way. Going the right way. This life is full of right roads. This life is full of signs. You might be going the wrong way. You're not losing your mind. Just going the right road and going the wrong way. We'll turn it around and find it today. Go the right road. Oh, the right road. Oh, the right road. And go the right way. Okay, well, this is about life. I think everybody has experienced somehow that was bringing up. I wanted something concrete, something certain, something I could hold on to. And I was sent an illusory being, an illusory wedding, an illusory marriage, an illusory house, an illusory divorce, an illusory new page to my illusory new life. The words were the only concretization that I held on to as I picked up the rock and I put it in my pocket. And I existed to look at this rock in my pocket. neatly tucked away so no one could take it from me. I checked on it periodically to see if it was still there. No, it was mine, given to me, for me. This rock, all about me. So this illusory world I came to notice is not all about me. It's about waves and tones and scents and taste and feel and emotions and lack thereof and wavering thoughts, and the solutions are made of beloved minds and hues. They cannot be grasped in these grasping fingers, as they are forced to spread out so all falls through them. Not about clinging. And that is what keeps me and us alive to live another day, another calendar page torn off, crumpled into the paper bin, recycled into something not in the form of a calendar this time. And then who knows, it could be the calendar I just received making a donation of $5 to the troops who were paid by IBM cards. IBM cards that were made of fresh newspaper we paid for. In the old days, we collected our hangers door to door to sell them back to the cleaners for 25 cents a stack. And that got us milk for 2 days. We were happy then. And at the same time across the world, the Queen did not know what dress to put on, so she let her handmaid pull out the colors of spring and dress to match the shoes, to match the rings, to match the diadem, and her blue hair. And I was in my car with the engine burnt up, rod prone because I did not know my oil pan hit the high curb that was sticking up as I splashed through torrential rains in my newly purchased used car from a drug dealer car lot. Car liability insurance only does not cover such accidents. So I write notices to take these off your mailing list and send them off with forever stamps. Right now I have some concrete to pour and a foundation to lay. This is fresh. Okay, here we go again with the audience participation. People want peace, people want freedom, they want to ride that peace wave. People want peace, people want freedom, they want to ride that peace wave. The peace wave, the peace wave, the peace wave. All it takes is to get on board and find that way right into the shore, keep moving forward. The peace wave. People want us all to come together and unite with common goal. Peace and freedom, peace and liberty, peace from doing what we're wrong. He told us to your soul. And let the bad boys go. Listen to your spirit. Come on, ride the peace way, ride to freedom shore, ride the peace way, ride through freedom's door. Lift up yourself, lift up humanity, lift up your burdens, your heart and your fears. The peace wave is coming, love right at us. The peace wave of love is already here. It's already here. The peace wave is coming righteously. It's no longer way out there. The peace wave is coming consciously. We're calling it to us. We're calling it to us. The peace wave. The peace wave. The peace wave. The people want peace. People want freedom. They want to ride that peace wave. They want to ride that peace wave. So get on board. Get on board. Get on board and ride the peace wave.
just published. It's on Amazon.com, and for modern people, it's on Kindle. But to give you a taste, because you are rememberers. Poets are the people who remember people. And as I said, his last feature was on this stage here, granted to him thanks to the Austin Poetry Society. And it really meant a lot to him. His acceptance in Austin as a poet and as a musician. I'll be going after this to Word Jazz, where he was a harp player for Word Jazz, which is improvised poetry and improvised music on the East Side. But this is just a sample of An Awful Lot by William Sickwitt. What are you going to do with your life? That's what you say if I heard you write day and night. You were born with me, paterfamilias. You can be like me with the stocks I gave you. Just remember, son, behave. You be grand, don't surpass your old man. That wasn't part of the plan. The losses we sustained, losing love, the insurmountable gain, birds as alone in the left behind, empty days, forgotten manners under warm covers. Dreams that remain as we inevitably march towards a picture in the same frame. I will wait still in but a moment. Burdens last be finally shared. My greatest wish, my only hope is that you be there. Call me love. Before I knew your name, you called me love. Ruby lips, raven hair, olive skin, beautiful. Brave enough to unflinchingly gaze upon my eyes. Your lovely heart, open, pressing against my chest. Midline, I stand in line, offering only desperate prose, strong hands near poverty and worn out clothes that do not care to match a body you may press to grand dreams. Lots of green angels need not spread their wings to heal a broken man. It seems they need only say one thing, just call me, call me, call me love. I hear you right. The sky is bright light in the middle of the night. The flat grey rock is a bird. The moon is made of buttercurd. The rules are made and followed by the honest, deaf and shallow, always sensitive to races, special needs cases. Stiff are the voice and face, eyes elsewhere misplaced, scanning for an exit in case the lie degenerates. The wood we walk on is bone. One's work should be a home. The air is laughing gas. Everyone has a special I love you, with you. Truth be told, at times it gets old. I regretfully fumbling, mumbling, ugly fact well known. We often find ourselves standing alone, with no Windex or paper towels. A glass house is a home. An awful lot available tonight. Michelle.
Trying to sort out my feelings, this dour mood, wrapped in dark, purple bruised clouds. A sliver of sun is a wink of a light. Gunmetal race. Embraced by the love. Embraced by multi blue grace of sky, seashore, I let go all notion of a breathtaking night of bliss. Wind seaweed in my hair, salt and sea on my tongue, I once again weigh a bittersweet, recent long chance at love. Sense love by emotion, white down, income, cold tide, yellow fingers, sift, shell fragments, heavy, wet sand. Unexpectedly, I hold in my hand a gift most unusual. From the sea, a perfectly shaped sandstone. Could it be that the vast snowy sea, if our heart back to me, can it behold, I'm born free. Thank you. I don't want to fool you that I'm a Texan. I'm a transplanted Texan. I'm a Juanita from New Mexico, born in the Saga de Cristo Plain in northern New Mexico. And for many years I've been writing Spanish poetry. I found no audience for my work until I found Resistencia bookstore where I read for many years and did volunteer work. Working on memoir. I'm writing in English now with a good sprinkling of Spanish words and phrases thrown into English. My memoir will be in two sections. That's what it seems to want to be. One is where I wistfully recall my childhood, first 11 years of my life, that I remember with a lot of sentiment. The second section is going to be life after my mother's death when I was 11 years old, the oldest of 7 children. But tonight I want to read the happy section. I never hear me now. What I try to write are snapshots of some of my favorite things in northern New Mexico that no longer exist, but I remember from. I want to toast a lot of The last generation of my grandparents, and then use the midstream roast beef, and ready for blessings, gratitude, wow, praise God. Based on genuine life they wore to funerals, to fiestas, to dances, to processions, when I sing hallelujah, I hallelujah to my Aunt Juanita's cherished. Anybody with a white pot, with a white cup, thanks Lord. I love singing focus, left and then it's I want to sing to her flower like yes, flower like flower gorditas. They open up and filled with goodness for that doesn't come in mouth. Let me tell you about the dishes. Cilantro, green onion, mint, bacon crumbs, so nice, so finely diced. Yes, I sing a praise to my many young and pretty tias, although I do not think them so badly. To the pluck it took my aunts to abandon multi-layers of flannel, then inch by rapid inch a shortened dress and skirt. I toast to them who boldly broke tradition by wearing bright red lipstick, powder, and fringe. Here's to their daring perfume and forays to towels and Santa Fe to get their hair burned and to shop for bangles, perfume, sandals, and big clothes. I guess, race even to the menacing summer thunderclouds, thunderheads dark and heavy, suddenly unleashing zigzag lightning, thunderbolts, and hailstones, all the while raining panic, toads, and mud. To the wide-eyed, rowdy children, so quick to hush, and then suddenly rush to cover tables, chairs, beds from under Mama practice. Then he praises on the young, unruffled mama, blessed antidote in hand, who through open doors and windows sprinkle salt to each of the four winds. And in that way, she intrigued and pacified her young, not the little story. Finally, I toasted Dirty Devils, swarms of small, shifty sand so prone to mysteriously spring out of dark, hard, fragment dirt. I'm spinning and recording, spinning, rotating, twisting, turning, dizzying, feeling, swirling, twirling, whirling, lancing the wind as they dance and they prance to a soundtrack unknown. Say to them, yes, to those deep lady imps. Somebody one to watch from afar. Yet he struggled all to end up in a rumble. Mumble, fumble, and finally stumble. Oh, you scramble your thoughts, get tangled your hair, pour sand down your throat, your eyes and your ears. Yeah, they can pelt you clean to the skin, and ratchet your scorn as you rip off the paint of a shiny new car. Laugh at your fight as they and easily roll back underground. They don't care. Okay, I'm going to read one section for the course of these things about the season. Anyway, summer's what I'd like to read today. And in this poem, it's a section of the memoir. I'm talking to my mom, okay? Summer. You can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Okay, now, okay. This is from a section of my memoir where I have the 4 seasons, and I'd like to read summer to you. It's where I'm talking to my mom, okay? Conversation with me. I recall 2 summers when I tended sheep after you were gone. You were gone. Yet, and still, and somehow, the world managed to warm me anew. The arroyo, cool, and sunny salt of my face. Summer, when our New Mexico skies turn an achy cobalt blue, so prone to sudden hailstorms, thunderclaps, and downpours. Then just as quickly, the sun is smiling, the air is fresh and clean, our world refreshed. I would not trade the power of dry, sun-scorched soil, carpeted in really rough mud, we call Sabico's clothes. Yes, Mama, the horde of ponchos, which so intrigued us kids. But to barely touch one was to get what's now, like you, they're gone, simply disappeared. Did we not mind interference? Hey, say we children did not, simply could not have squeezed, smothered them, one and all. Now in August, the whole crew off to Madrina's ranch in Cuestecitas for an entire week or 2 to celebrate my birthday, harvest Chimayo green chili, and pirate the thumpiest watermelons in Celestino and Tomas, while you and Madrina laughed and gossiped, simmered piles of fried crab apples into gorgeous golden amber, and floated pretty roasted peppers in those clear jelly jars. Tested every year along with the chili rispas to win white, red, and blue ribbons at the church bazaar. In September, at Dia Lindas, across town, visible for miles, along Africa, changing color, signals a melancholy note. Soon it will be time for me to wear dresses and tight blue shoes to school. The ancient tree will stand around, erect around the children, birds or fruit and leaves, save for the bounty at her feet, perfume handkerchief for the pig. She stands, naked limbs, a testament to seasons women's rights and how emotional I get about women's rights, gun safety, and the stigma on mental health. I will read just a short section of I've been writing this poem, like I said, for a long time. Some of the words that I've chosen to recite or to write about are very pain-laden. Others are intimate, life-giving words. They're dear to the hearts of women and to the men who love them. Womb is a four-letter word. Void's mysterious, intimate, life-giving space. The mythic, pre-adult dark void in my concept. The innate impulse to ties, draw in, pursue male. Preordained to bear the offspring of that fire. Woman, generated the original blessed Trinity. Mother, Father, Child. Foreshadowing the art in the ancient caves in Altamira and Lascaux. The world's first cherub left his imprint on that thick, fleshy, expanding wall. Today, 8 billion of us walk no matter whether rich or poor, the first step of that journey is the Savior, one and all. We float, stretch, wait, we ride with elbow, heel, and toe. Warm beach, ocean, bloodline, lifeless, moon-baked light, mother, father, child. Pesky old woman, help them, finding to birth and death. She closes her eyes to shut out the world, that she might magnify the mundane until her eyes see the very roots of God. They fly says the Lord. Whispers the boy. Says the poet. And the infinite. She says, say it with me. Say it long enough. It might become your heart.
Woman's voice, is she not? Yes. Now we have Scott Vanya.
First, I want to show Joy let them know about where the book can be found. I wanted to know if Michelle wants to give you all any technical details about where to find. I'll just give you a little agenda. I want to see if Michelle wants to give you all any technical details about where to find Women's book. I know it's on Amazon. I know you can buy it on Kindle. I know there's a coupon available. Then I'm going to give you a little intro, and then I'm going to read Persian Garden, and then if the moment calls for it, I'll do something after that, okay? If you want to say you need to act as something. This is Michelle. If you would, please welcome Michelle.
Love you! Well, I think we all love my brother, and we wish he could be here with us, but he chose not to be. But his last hope and prayer was to be published. And this month we published his collection of poetry compiled by my mother and my daughter. Almost 2 years since his passing, but it is published to, like Scott said, Amazon. I published it through Create Space, which is an Amazon own company. And it's really great, and I recommend that you check it out because it's actually free to publish if you know how to format everything yourself. It's a little pricey to sell, so this little bitty book here is actually the retail price of $24.95. But if you go onto Facebook and you find the William Sickwitt website that I put on Facebook page, there's a link to the Create Space page for it where I can give you a $10 off coupon, so it can be had for more affordable, $14, $15. Or if you're tech savvy and you do have a Kindle or a Kindle app, you can download the Kindle version of it for $2.99. So, and there is every portion of the sale, every download, will go towards charities. His favorite, Austin Pets Alive, where he volunteered to rescue pets, as well as suicide prevention programs across the country. So that's it. So thank you very much.
Goodreads accounts. You can post reviews on Goodreads accounts or Amazon. Also, I created the Open Mic Austin website, which broadcasts shows, recorded shows of all the audio shows you ever go to. We have a 30-show list with playlists of like 100 artists. That was all created, driven, inspired by Williams inclinations, and I made it for poets of Austin so they can be heard. Yeah. Williams' idea. So that's where we are going, which we don't want tonight. So this is knowledge of that, and all these graphics. We got a third side. Tonight, I come here on behalf of the transcendental dreamer. Someone like William, and in fact, William is a personification of this, and he would agree. His work is an extension of going beyond yourself to your neighbor, to foreign nations, to the idea that people really can, and within each one of them is a love that connects all of them. His life, his work, his writing, his efforts personified that idea. What I see most humorous today about it, and was why he called himself Sickwitt, is he told us things that we already know but don't want to believe. That Iranians, that Iraqians, that Afghanistanians are in fact our brothers. And he would say, I know they're going to say, that's what we do. I am here to help share some of his gift that says, open your heart and enjoy it the moment you're in, even though you know it will go away a moment later. I, for one, love William Sickwitt. Whether to be a best person or a mixed person, I love William Sickwitt. I'm fixing to read a poem called Persian Gardens. He retold a story to me once that he gave it to a girlfriend. I think she was Iranian, right? She was Iranian. And she took it to Iran. And he was so proud of this. He was so proud of so many things. And the glee he shared in playing with words to get things done was like somebody playing on guitar strings. And she carried it with her on an airplane to Iran and showed it to as many people as she could. And they all said, this is a great poem. They told his girlfriend, she came home and told him, nothing. Because he had said something that was true in a foreign land, which is the goal of a poet. Because we each are trying to say something that gets from this land to that land or that land. Persian gardens now. I hope I do a little bit better than I did last time.
I'm going to do a French dip sandwich.
Persian gardens.
Fries from the platter.
Grandfather. Also, you all have copies if you want to read along. Read or pack for me.
Yeah, let me just do that.
Grandfather, you would look marvelous walking in green.
Well, we've got a timer.
The gardens planted by your ancestors, tended by you, flourish in that light. Greeted by new days, ways, and means. Soil and sand of many kinds, mixed together, fed with knowledge, watered with tears, held in and poured from soft, loving hands. It is of you, honored ones, we must make small, honest, heartfelt demands. We of your family, tribe, and tradition, we who carry your blood, walk in the city's pathways, composed, hoping for some small freedom's repose. You need not beware your green young, moving through dark streets, painting every door hang, speaking to wisdom beyond their years, infinite compassion, and the noblest love. Great fathers, we stood with you as bombs fell on Abadan, Tehran, and Khorramshahr. Husbands, men of the nation fought as Persian mothers danced, arms raised in the air, singing songs of joy and happiness. So our offspring, our joined future, might not be afraid. Yes, we too remember those days. Heads bowed in prayer, voices raised in praise. We have come to this. Bloodied hands of men kneeling as dark-haired voices lay on this lovely garden soil field. As brown eyes call out for forgiveness and justice to the divine. All while green-stemmed roses and tulips in every Persian city mature and bloom, walking arm in arm like entwined vines in solid lines. As ever patient Damavan peers down, guess not, but strangers hide in the open doors of others' homes, breathlessly quiet. Brothers giving their foes as cover from night's authoritarian, unforgiving, predictable freedoms. It is only God that has the right to bring a people to their knees. Fathers, please knock down a few earthen walls. Design more passages. Walkways in this beautiful garden and make room for all. Join us in these sacred steps, dearest elders. It is our great Islamic Republic, independence and freedom, the end that you forestalled. Good job. I'll tell it this way. For over 8 months, lesson to me. For 8 months, for a year, I practiced the lesson I had learned, which was make friends with every single soul you come in contact with immediately. Seconds or moments later, that time chance may have passed. Good lesson. Very, very good lesson. A lesson that sustained me for a very long time, and I have continued to practice it. Yes, on the back porch of a coffee shop on the south side of town at Full English Cafe, sitting peacefully under some oak trees, listening to the creek go by and the traffic, I had made the mistake, and maybe you all make this mistake once or twice in your lifetime too. I made the mistake of gathering my momentum from this dad. And I knew what I really wanted to do was gather strength from his life. Living dead. The people and the person that says, take care of others. If somebody asks for a hand, give it. If it requires you taking a turn out so that somebody else can go by all means do so. I hope, perhaps, you'll take the time to come leaf through one of the books and see what I'm talking about. It's not all serious. I have been talking about this. I happen to be a sort of serious sort of poet. William had a great wit. Poking fun at all sorts of things. Thank you for the time. It's a great honor to serve him and y'all. Woo!
Thank you, Scott. I have one announcement from Anya. Osmic City, Austin, Texas TV, 7 to 7:30 on Wednesdays, channel 11 and 16. I wrote a poem, I finished it yesterday, and it's for William. Because a year ago, in July, William was right here, and we got to hear his voice. And I learned a lot. This is called William and the Art of Listening. What I knew of you was so very brief, but I have carried 4 seasons of grief. What I knew of you was so very brief, but such a strong, unseen connection. Your words and heart and intervention, inviting us into your portal of earth time. And yes, I knew you just one lunar cycle rhyme. But I knew of you, what I knew of you was so very brief. But I saw you and your heart really listening. Love listening with poetic longevity. Sweet William, I hardly knew you, but you showed me the meaning of theosophy, the art of listening from the heart. I would like to invite David Lester Young, our very own Benjamin Franklin.
I have copies of what I'm going to be doing if anybody needs them. I've been kind of doing a lot of sleeping and trying to do a little bit of comprehension. This, I'll finish this point. What was in that they were, the tears torn under years, have evaporated time to be, woken in with presence, pinching so real to bruise the reality present, that one is worn weathered upon a dissolving facade, bearing what was, now dancing a spring memory, sighing in a full breath, in yearning use, memory. That is prancing in frictions past, to feel that lost exuberance, those tears that are sunk deep, searching in solemn sunken eyes, that bemoan the twain minus one, to navigate alone, adrift the last chapter. Groans where adrift, groans where are threaded inside a skeletal key, trying to turn backwards into closet door reflections that mirror past chapters. Hibernating thoughts do winter the chill of age, with an approaching certainty that one does see the futility upon a waning fertility future. Within a mortal portal envelope that is squeezing life tight between birth and death. In years worn asunder tears, one looks back into the trailing mirror that approaches death, a window frame searing the past when one wants to travel backwards to reincarnate reflections of the heart. But in doing so, they may shatter time to shards that equate to life not being real. What was streaks down to sagged cheeks when time wrinkles skin that over time will leather binders among the gravestone wither in decomposing decompositions of what was now being left behind. To wander time still in stenciled granite, or can one live on in spirit? With a novel headstone upon a library reincarnation. What was in that they were, history sharing a stage presence to bear the reality present within novel master bindings, being open to what was, germinating another generation. Wrath riders coming to life while opening pages in what was, in flashback demonstrations of time composed at writing, will now recompose to blossom in who we were, writing revelations in what was, living in lifetime sentences. That praise that exists in history, where poetry resonates in existence in what was, now becoming poetry being reborn within masterpiece collections of rhyme that meter time. They were the what was, poets who have hugged humanity with those fleeting moments where poets do live life inside. The living sensual organism that does climax in being a poet. That was pride now and forevermore, where poets' worth drift into eternity to be appreciated. Future foundation facade. The reflections reflect age over time, distortion to weather wrinkled faces, into grain abrasions that move past prime, in a pendulum incline to decline facade. Future exploration finds a presence lost, found in what was, in memories of youth faded, could, should, would, have been exhausted, lost opportunities, evaporating the future facade. A soul sails within a universe depth of persona, rippling cerebral currents of light poetry's promenade. To alliterate heartbeats dance the great poets' personal achievements that acclaim their cream de la cream facade. that tomorrow being yesterday is forevermore. Incarnation. That the seed from yesteryear must germinate to serenade a poet's future in novel ways, in the character's reincarnation, where the time furrows a poet's words to levitate a stunning facade. We are not living immortals. We are not millennium redwoods, while most of us will live beyond seconds, minutes, and hours within years. Some may reach going past a decade. Some may reach the century legacy, but then our grave headstone is chiseled with an ending date facade. Then we can only be reincarnated with our recorded poetic seed deeds, that when they open up minds to germinate a novel book masterpiece, a writer at last achieves an immortal foundation facade. Shakespearean seduction. Shakespearean drama does embroil words, scorned inside lover storms, among twisted sagas of intertwining desires, where lust sets verse on fire. Hypnotic sense and reflections, incensed by sonnet cadences, varying aroused words in rhythmic poetic patterns that resonate in histrionic personification. Poetry's oracle forevermore, set adrift in literature's PowerPoint stage presence, in sensual vibrations of neighboring rhyme, singing aloft woven weave of verses, in stanzas that beguile love's mystery, in feminine love me not, that meanders in the bed spring pleasure of to and fro, metrical moods. Oh, that woe in a woman's moan, that weathers a man's groaning transgression, within the alabaster white ivory soft breast of Shakespearean seduction. Satirical tragedy of vices and follies, in masculine and feminine fantasies that bemoans the groans in bewitching liaisons of puritanical partaking. That from the beginning roots of the poetic English language, Shakespeare did stimulate the strength of romantic rhyme. Among enticing romance theatrics, that verse that has endured the wrath of time, in the swath-bearing poetic rhyme, where love has formed literature epic climaxes upon the lit moments of sensuous play. To be or not to be a poet, that is the question. Where all the world's poetic stage, that you are a lover of poetry, to borrow Cupid's wings. What is in a name? If thou have not loved Shakespearean verse, who taught thee how to make me love thee more, to love the mastery of literature's verse in Shakespearean seduction. Okay, dire straits, mental currents rip into the heart's core to bear the rain and the word's downpour, slashing and gashing to bleed open vein as a whip cracks its venom fiber fangs to impregnate fear, to scratch the death where wounds fester, scar on scars. Woe is this despair in being distraught, when wrath hath wrought, bringing solemn desolation, wherein slashing swath woe wails away, a quagmire quicksand love, mire downtrodden, into a sickened spirit trapped in love's famines, bearing heavy gravities, twain minus one. A heartfelt quake, when heartache breaks alone, the mind set to wander a barren, moved terrain, never to be shared again, Despondence wondering if one can fly again. A low though clipped as a broken winged lover in what was, what had been, what is now gone, does haunt forevermore. O Cupid's slayer, to forever wear the worn out spirit, to be not in love, trapped, torn, and tattered, bared by ripped sharp pieces, weathering the depth of despondence, sobbing in silent cries of hailing that love in what was, then blaring the screaming hell in what is. What is dire straits? What if one had not broken the mirror between a reflection being whole and dire straits shattered broken? I'm doing
Very elegant. So we're going to kick off the open mic with Elsie. And Elsie is our very own creative culturist. Genius.
That was just the last one.
I'm very honored to be here in this holy moment with all these holy people. I admire you so much. I'm always the one who gives the commercials for the Austin Poetry Society. I believe that all of you probably want to be members for the coming year. You can renew your memberships, or you can send in a new membership. I have forms here. If you want to have one of these forms, raise your hand now. Keep your hand up until I bring it to you.
Need one more here. Still waiting for my telephone to come in the mail. Cell phone. I'll be like, I'm shopping. Supposed to come any day.
You think that's all? No. This spring we gave away $2,400 to prize-winning awards in our annual awards ceremony. And next to me, I want to give you a piece of that too. Right now, we're collecting sponsorship of contests for us to give next year. That means to send in the prize money and give it away to someone else in May. If you want to sponsor a contest for the spring next year, raise your hand, I'll give you a form. Always does.
What made you think of it? That helps you.
flowers this morning, despite the heat. This is my poem. It's titled An Open Mic Epiphany. Take turns with the microphone. Scatter your voice into all the ears. Sow the seeds of your metaphor. Rouse the spirit. Name the soul. I could hear you better if these seagulls would shut up. I could see you better without all these butterflies. Yet your words bring them into the room. At your call they flutter through the forest of my faith.
Okay, wow. Now we have a triple treat. Deborah, Ron, and Louise. A trilogy of vibration.
You guys have the right of way. Always.
Gordon Langdon McGill, my beloved.
A brief tribute to William Sickwitt. First, I would like to thank Lydia, my wife and I lived in Santa Fe for 6 years. You took me back to a time that I never experienced before we were ever there, in which the real spirit of Santa Fe was alive and well in a hint there. To Will Sickwitt, I made your acquaintance just in time. I only had a moment's glimpse of soul. I heard your rhymes and said to you, well read, I like them well. You smiled, that shy, crooked smile. Returned me thanks for my praise, then added, God bless you. More than the poems, your smile and blessing stay with me now. And Thomas heard this. I'd like to dedicate this also to William Sickwitt. Titled, As I Contemplate Those Famous Poets. As I contemplate those famous poets, our age remembers, and perhaps the next one too, how they came to their recognition and success. I wonder what the formula, the recipe, the physics of profundity or sheer simplicity, what alchemy of brain and wit and luck. A voice within me snorts, it's simple really. For every 1,000 poets, a few like cream rise thick and buttery to the top. But then the far-off voices rise anew of all the unknown poets in the world who lived their lives and never gave a damn to win a prize, but dreamed and wrote their verses between jobs, raising children, paying bills, falling in love, marriage and divorce, eventually growing old and meeting death. We're glad these poets have heard by only a few, especially fellow poets and friends who listen with open hearts and empathic mind, or we're doubly glad if they reach the hearts of the sad, the beaten, the children, the aged, any and all who needed to hear. That made a difference. It wasn't the fame, public notice, the publicity, academic acclaim, but the change in a face, a smile or a laugh, the nod of agreement that bridges the gap between strangers, of words shared deeply and freely with no need of applause.
He's that sunshine right in the middle of the crowd here.
But world has changed since then. Now, my words on the subject have to be the Ninja, the Pinata, and the Santa Fe sail to the beach on Columbus Day. And oh well, never mind. I'm going to do my celebration of the winter solstice because, oh yes, and the crew went shopping after all their barrels and all of the elevators and Christmas carols. So I ordered to get my winter solstice carol out for the elevator music is all Christmas carols. Starting a month into the summer solstice. And from now to the winter solstice, I'll do this song once a month somewhere. Read the gifts the goddess brings, sing the carols, dance the rings, dark ending of the year to some we give thanks for life to come. Sing the carols, dance the rings, read the gifts the goddess brings, nature's source by death and birth, we praise your names around the earth. This longest night the sun is reborn, with evergreen the house adorned, light and cheer to friends dispense, blessed love and sense. With evergreen the house adorned, this longest night the sun's reborn, nature's source by death and birth, we praise around the earth. Sacred symbols manifold, yours and ours from times untold. Holly, pine, and mistletoe, all March flowers and candles glow. Yours and ours from times untold, sacred symbols manifold, nature's source by death and birth, we praise around the earth. Love of the nations far and bright, the stars sing silently tonight. Her age of gold returns in peace, this single night of peace. The stars sing silently tonight, above the nations far and bright. Nature's source by death and birth, we praise around the earth. The words and the music, including harmony, are in my first book that I published back in the 90s.
Okay, that was a piece of it. Yeah. There's another Linda out there. Her name is Linda Gordon. Let's welcome her. Yeah.
This is a song that I developed from a poem that I wrote when I was in a really severe crisis and really, really hard time. I read the poem to myself over and over again, got me through the hard time. And then eventually, I started singing as I was driving, we started to church, we started to choir, different places. So this is the boy we put to song. Manna from heaven, Moses gathered on his desert journey and came to know that always there is none. So like him, I journey through the desert, and I'm learning that always there is enough. There is enough love. There is enough wisdom. There is enough power. There is enough strength. There is enough endurance. There is enough patience. There is enough. Always there is enough. Daily I'm provided for. There is enough. Always there is enough. Always, always there is enough. There is enough time. There is enough energy. There is enough money. There is enough help. There is enough ability. There is enough harmony. There is enough. Always there is enough. Daily I'm provided for. There is enough. Always there is enough. Always, always there is enough. Always there is enough.
Thank you. And now, Herman Nelson. Herman Nelson! Woo!
Hello, how are you? You hear me? During the tedious, turbulent decade of the 60s, we paid a great price. And I thought the great price we paid, we could come somewhere in this country. John F. Kennedy was sacrificed. Robert Kennedy was sacrificed. Martin Luther King was sacrificed for whatever progress we made. And I thought, wow, finally, civil rights is advancing. We're becoming a unit. Because this world is not about you or you or you or me. It's about the continuum and peace. And as it was said before by someone else, all men are my brothers, all women my sisters, all the plants, vegetables, and animals that exist are cousins, which life is one unit. So, we focus on we're only good. Standing in the center, undecidedly,
Some are cheering from the sides where others cannot see. Some are lagging far behind us, asking to be freed. There are those who need to give. There are those who need. Few are marching in the forefront where the danger lies. Many hiding in the shadows, covering their eyes. Life is aimless for the coward. What a price is paid. Find the courage deep within you. Do not be afraid. Tyrants squelch the truth with terror, ignorance, and hate. When the thinking voice is muted, freedom lies in state. All you're wanting, all you're caring, cannot help surmount. All our troubles, only doing or undoing counts.
How can I forget Ralph? Ralph Hauser.
Two old farts in a row. All right, we're still on our feet, aren't we? Traveler's advisory. Beyond this place is a gateway. You may not know that you have passed through it, but the air will change in subtle ways. The wind will seem cooler, perhaps, or distant thunder might startle you. You will come to a beautiful grove with many herbs and flowers. Pick none of them. Stay on the path that runs east and west. Avoid any path that takes you left or right. Remember, if in doubt, the straightest route. A man that appears benevolent must not be trusted. He means to bring you harm. You will meet a crone. You can trust her. She will take you to her home, high in a tree. The climb up is scary. The climb back down even more scary and difficult. It's part of your preparation. She will show you the next part of your journey. The crone will give you bread made of chestnut flour. It keeps a long time and is good for you. The path is very long. There will be many creatures along the way. Some benevolent, some harmful. Trust your instincts. Many other people are on the trail with you. If you meet someone who is happy, share her joy. If you meet someone who is lamenting, try to cheer them up. Offer hope, bring light, offer harmony, give faith. Thank those who help you, forgive those who harm you.
You will come to a promontory from which you will see a range of hills and taller mountains beyond those hills, and the glint of the sun upon a distant sea. You'll be tempted to go to that far place. The shore of that sea is not a destination, it is a jumping off place. You'll see a sailing vessel, it will call to you. Young as you are, old as you are, it will be the best this time to take the path back home. There's no dishonor in retreating. The people on the vessel are patient. They have eternity. They will come again and again. Thanks to Neil Gaiman and St. Francis of Assisi, and thanks to you all for listening.
Thank you, Ralph. You are so inspiring. He's inspiring to all of us. Yes. And now, Jeremy, do you have some treats for us?
So many short people there. I love a crowd where a short joke gets a giggle. So, I've only been here a couple of times. I didn't see William when he was here last, but I do remember when I saw William last. John, first of all, I'd like to thank you for being the sun so that the rest of our beautiful, amazing planets can orbit. I like your shirt. I've been writing notes down. I was told that we have time for one, so I made my one as absolutely long as possible. I know loss. I know joy. I know gain and pain. Michelle, I envy your love. I envy your joy, your exposure. I only wish that mine could compare. I love William. I don't know if he loved me, though I think he did. I know that he trusted me in his life. I think that he trusted everyone that he met, everything that he was exposed to. Scott said that his passing meant something to him. It's something to Scott, gave him power for a short time, and that his life, inevitably, the power, the strength of any darkness that there is. His passing didn't give him strength. I was pissed off. But I understand, like a lot of you do. Anyone that has something extraordinary to say oftentimes feels something a little more. So I understand. And there, my number 4, this is my final, until I read my poem. There were many nights that we cried. After he passed, there were many nights we cried. Few mornings that we remember. And that's okay. And I'd like to thank William for
single one of us, and every person out on the street, and every politician, every fish in the sea, and every plant, every vegetable that we eat. We're all one, and I would like to thank him for letting himself be a part of every single one of us. He didn't mean to, but I love him. This is called The Sun. Normally I play guitar, I sing songs, I hide behind 6 strings, and something's happened recently, and I've started writing words that sustain, words that expose in a form, in a way that I'm not afraid of. And so I still love to play my guitar. I brought it. I wasn't sure how much time I had, and as you can see, I'm burning it up the clock. This is called The Sun. I often wonder if I told you I was sorry, if you would wonder why it is that I spoke. If I say I know I should have tried harder, you would smile gently, as if my words were a joke. And so I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't try hard enough to think that I did. Harder to be someone you could be proud of, to look up to, when you're old enough to understand what I said. Old enough to understand loss from gain, and the reason we know this from that. The reason we live by our paradigms, and why it heals to hear, I love you, Dad. And in the morning, with your sleepy head, you say inaudibly, I love you. And so I touch you possibly one last time before my paradigm gives rise to the new. And though the new helps to create and inspire, it does nothing for my fading memories. And like the sun, my life sets on the horizon, and my words fade with passing breeze. And so when I wonder my past apologies, will they fill the void left by my beat? As the tide comes up with the moonrise, I let the waves fade the trace of black feet. Thank you guys for everything.
All people jokes. Thank you, Jeremy. And I do believe there is a fox around the corner there. His name is Cracker Fox. Let's hear it for Cracker Fox.
Deli-William is a beautiful flower. Deli-William celebrated resurrection. Resurrection comes from another place. Perhaps, as in Plato, from a cave in which everyone's chained to a rock. There's a flame behind that, and all they know of the real world is these shadows that are on the wall. And then someone, perhaps Deli-William, breaks the chains and goes out into the real world and finds that things aren't quite different and returns resurrected. Now the poem that I'm going to do, well, if you look at this poster back here, you see that there's a word on there. C-A-V-E. That poster is about a cave from which maybe someone rolls a stone so that there can be resurrection. And I feel the resurrected sweet William in this room, and I dedicate this. Bless you. In caverns there's the lure to find, that's some lost thing that shines. That gem or crystal hung suspended, graceful and sublime. My love, she whispers low to me, come join me underground. The way is warm and wet with nature, easy to be found. I didn't think a lot about it, went and soiled my clothes, and found her there beneath the stony rose. The laughter of my love beside me echoes through the vault. Tingling, rippling flows of beauty, timeless in the fault. Oh, Carlos, can you hear my heartbeat? Calls my love to me. Floating on a crystal pool, so clear and cold to me. Within an arm's reach, she had fallen deeper than you know, into the grotto of the stony rose. Oh, Rosa, Rosa, deep in love, lies blooming on the stone. Carlos gently brushes Rosa, from her lips a moan. Oh, Carlos, what's become of you? I cannot see the light. I need you here, I want you near, to hold me through this night. Though mornings came and mornings went, in caves one never knows. An endless night enfolds my stony rose. In caverns there's the lure to find, that's some lost thing that shines. That gem or crystal hung suspended, graceful and sublime. Oh come, I hear the whispers from the earth below. Oh, come and take me home, cries Rosa. Come and take me home, cries Rosa. Come and take me home, cries Stony Rose. Arise!
Another fabulous surprise, Mike Jones. He's a tall person.
Tell you a little about me because you guys don't know me. Give me that radio. Okay. But there's not so much to tell. I'm an open book. But you don't know how to read me. Did you think you'd get to know me if you skimmed the contents page? You hardly paid attention through the introduction. Thought that when you met me, I'd be easy to engage. But you cannot use the index to find an explanation. The glossary is useless, or I wouldn't be defined. The appendix is a mystery, and there is no annotation of the swiftly rising action that is roaring through my mind. The prologue and the epilogue are tantalizing bits that give you just a possessed of my charming, sparkling wit. You will find the preface lawyer, for it gives no intimation of the plot that's now unfolding in the pages of my heart. The illustrations might intrigue you as you're flipping through the pages, but you don't get the picture just by looking at the art. Nor will you understand me if you merely read the chapters. For no explicit truth is stated on any given line. You must examine the context, analyze the clues, and bear in mind the ironies of the lines that you use. You have to look for patterns or some hint of the design if you want to get to know me. You read between the lines. And don't rely on others. You should read it for yourself. Otherwise, you ought to leave this book on the shelf. Don't bother with the jacket notes, the cover arts, the clever quotes, or the words of praise published in a review. And remember this as well, my friend. As you read the open book is reading you. Oh, really, that's just I really want to more to the point. Okay, all right. Y'all can tell me if I sewed in like gold here. All right. And besides, I want to sew the full. Take cover when the shots ring out. Find somewhere to hide. That's our golden rule. We hate to send you into the maelstrom, but the world is full of danger and you have to learn how to deal with it. That's why we send you to school. So take cover when the shots ring out. You might stand your ground if you had a gun, but you're too young, darling. Just stay hidden. Don't even try to run. Maybe one of your teachers could save you if she can get to the pistol she has in her purse. You might utter a little prayer, open your Bible to a comforting verse, and cry out in the name of our sweet Jesus. But cry out quietly so the crazy man won't hear. Lord, guide her hand. She will make a steady hand, your best. She might only get one shot. A 9mm against an AR-15 with a banana clip. It hardly seems a fair fight, but there's no use in asking why. God knows he has the right to play Rambo on the gun range until the day he becomes engaged. Just keep your head down, child, as the gunfire continues to rage. Pray. Pray some more as bullets whiz by. Pray that someone will take the gun in his hands. And have faith that they will, eventually. Stay under cover until the gunfire stops. And when it's all over, we'll hold you, comfort you, and explain to you your friends are in a better place. Just don't rush off to join them. If you live long enough, and the odds are you will, we'll explain to you the Second Amendment and how our freedom hinges on our right to unlimited firepower. We'll explain to you, sweet child, why we must never trifle with the Second Amendment. After all, some things are just too precious.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. And now, last but not least, but first-class poet, John Doss. Yay, John!
I own and live on a small ranch in the Dripping Springs area. I will admit tonight, not having coming back to the Hawaiian until in 2 years. You people may be used to the traffic and the way that people drive here. But it is a form of pathology that people who don't have to deal with it each day are blessed not to have to live with. But since it's been so long since I've come to Austin, I may do at least 2 poems. I operate in an oral tradition. My poems are not written. They're composed in my head, and then once they get there, they're walking. The first poem is
inspired by the Nelson Ranch, which is at the headwaters of Barton Creek. Springs are running there now. People have been there forever. The Sprouse homestead was the first homestead, permanent structure on the property, and it's still there are ruins over there. There's the Sprouse cemetery is there. I guess maybe 8 of the Sprouses are buried there. This old place has water, and thus 1,000 generations have striven here, leaving their implements as random monuments to life's transitory adventure. Some rusted red, the bane of all iron, intently bleeding their elemental forms into dissolution. Others, once pristine as the day they were named. Irony that suffuses history. That old homestead, almost gone from the memory of men. Tumbled stones on a failed foundation lingering under the sturdy shade of live oaks. That little cemetery where some members of one family are buried untended on a nearby hilltop. Their hand-hewn headstones, nearly anonymous, slowly inclining to the earth above each mortal round. Those stone walls ensnared in brush blue with age, stout enclosures before wire, lion-lost pastures. No wind, needed grease, sounding like some lonesome wails, distant song of discontent, and these old hills have an odd habit. It seems to strike, chime of time, it sings the song eternal. This little poem happened after the summers ago when we had 92, 94 days, triple digits. Most of you don't work outside, I do. We who work outside really know what that means. It was like this. After the heat of summer, fall steals into tired hearts like a gentle balm, cusp of change, clarifying horizons, restoring hope for repose, and inclining being to reflection. Memory is a scaffold to a place you used to be, but now only visit. The sound of dew dripping from metal roof to metal roof, the music with no cadence, the scent of moisture on dry air, sauce musky and fair. My grandfather's green porch faced south, greeting the light, the song of the creek, a happy place to make his effort true. Sleep on that porch was an elixir. His way became mine. Build it yourself. Place, not an investment. Facing no street. Conscious of compass. Tuned to terrain. Pointed on Polaris. And spectator to the vast sweetness solstice. This sleeping porch is on the second floor, overlooking the valley. Find a cycle between worlds. Cycles resolve, as do lives and generations. Join in familiar history. One quick humorous one, these are so serious. One quick humorous one. This all happened in one shower episode. As I cocked the shower spout, a little beetle scurried out, hating the flood. And from under the curtain, Daddy Longlegs trembled in fear of drowning the serpent. In a flash, I threw him over to chill salvation. The beetle could fend for himself. The scorpion, however, on the towel was dispatched. Though sometimes I liberate them, it takes less longer.
Thank you, John. That was lovely. And what a grand evening we had. Yes. It's forever in my heart. This was very special to me. The power healing power of our voices. I'm sure William has heard us. And please come back next month. We are going to have the Boston Poetry Society contest winners and also the new president of Boston Poetry Society, a young woman, a feisty young woman. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good night.
But